I'm going to show you two examples here. Prophetic ministry outside these kinds of places.
Say, before you play this video is why Jason's one of my heroes.
Well, it's just, I think it's the way,
this sums up why I
it's
love
the
him so
way a
much.
godly man, I think, needs to handle, and I'm not trying to puff Jason up. He knows that. A godly man needs a good example of how a godly man needs to handle evil outside of a place like Auschwitz or the gates of hell here, this abortion facility.
Sir, hey, you're assaulting. That's assault there, buddy. Oh, yeah, I think it is. If we did that to somebody, I know you'd be crying about it, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you would be, because you're called a hypocrite. Yeah, you're a hypocrite. You don't know how to be a man. You don't have any children, do you? You can't even take care of yourself, much less a child, do you? Yeah, you have no responsibility, no sense of virtue, no sense of masculinity. You've been emasculated. You've been emasculated. You don't know how to protect women. You don't know how to protect children. You don't know how to raise children. You don't know anything about children. You don't even know why you exist. You don't even know what the biological functions of your body is. No, you don't. No, you don't. If we wanted to do something to this abortion clinic, you wouldn't stop us, okay? We are restraining ourselves because we're law-abiding people. Okay, you guys are not restraining us in the least bit of way. You're not protecting this clinic, okay? You're a coward. You couldn't protect your way out of a paper bag, okay? If we wanted to toss you down the hill, we'd toss you down the hill, and you wouldn't be able to do anything about it, okay? You're not restraining anybody. You're not protecting anybody. It's the fact that we are self-disciplined men who actually restrain ourselves and abide by the law is the reason that you haven't gotten hurt today, okay? You understand that? Yeah, you understand that? Because you're not a man. You're a coward. You're a little boy that has not grown up. You've been raised in a self-centered, materialistic, consumer-driven culture. Yeah, all you know how to do is consume. That's all you've been ever taught how to do. Consume and consume and consume. Yes. You don't know how to take care of anybody. Yeah, you don't know how to produce or build anything of value and substance. Yeah. So I hope you grow up and become a man.
There you go.
That was a mouthful of truth right there.
That was. And but I think that's important to demonstrate is the level of restraint that comes from the Christian community at these places of death and evil, the level of restraint. But at the same time, the need for prophetic ministry, not just getting a beat down, but actually preaching the truth to the officers and to those who would attempt to abuse, to speak the truth. Because if you don't speak the truth, the error will never be corrected. Mm. And so there's one good example. Jason, talk us through that before I play the Truella talking to those tyrants at the Queen event. Talk us through that video.
Yeah, that was a young, avowed Marxist who was putting his hands on numerous people in our group as we were preaching. You know, I was on a ladder there. That's where Matt Brock and Kylie and other faithful brothers in Greenville, South Carolina, have a witness out there. And so you have to get up on this hill, and they set up a ladder to preach over the fence. And of course, what the pro-abortion people say is that, you know, they'll scream at you, "You're not accomplishing anything. Look how crazy you are. What are you doing?" And it's like, well, then why are you trying so hard to stop us from doing it if it's not accomplishing anything, right?
Right.
And they go through great lengths to try to keep us from, and Matt and those guys from setting that ladder up and doing that. And they've seen many, many babies saved through that ministry of preaching the gospel out there over that fence, and women who turned away from abortion and who've had the opportunity to lead them to Christ and get them plugged into a local church and get them the care that they need, in addition to saving their baby's life. So very effective ministry. And so this is a very aggressive group of pro-aborts that's out there claiming to protect that clinic and claiming to protect women going into that clinic, right? And this guy, he had a Marxist T-shirt, hammer and sickle. He's probably never swung a hammer in his life, but, you know, he has a shirt on. But, you know, so he was saying he was going to foment Marxist revolution and they're going to destroy Christianity and all these sorts of things. And I was like, buddy, you can't even get out of bed in the morning. You've probably never worked a full day of work in your life, and you've probably never protected a woman in any real meaningful sense. You can't even protect yourself, right? And so you've just been emasculated by this culture, and yet you think you're this paragon of moral virtue. And so, you know, of course, we had the opportunity. I preached the gospel to the young man and taught him, you know, you need to look to Christ as your example, not Karl Marx, and certainly not anybody you're seeing on television, but look to Christ as the example of what a man is to be, and also, of course, where our salvation is found in forgiveness of sin. But you know, it's interesting that those pro-abortion people out there, he will claim that he's out there protecting women. And of course, what we like to remind them is, you know, you don't know anything about the women that go to an abortion clinic. You watch the escorts that are out there. They don't get these people's names. They don't get to talk to them about what their issues are. They have just no idea whether this woman is going in there in a domestic abuse situation. They usher them into the clinic get their money, kill the baby, and then escort them out, and they never see them again. And they have no interest in seeing them again. They have no idea what kind of problem they may be sending them back to, right? Their only job is actually to protect a for-profit business that's making money off these women that are in a crisis. And so, we try our best to expose that, of course, and to continue to try to show love to those moms and love to those babies that are about to be murdered. And it's obviously a very intense ministry. As you guys know, you've been faithfully at it there in Phoenix for a long time. You guys are an inspiration to many around the country, including us. And so, that is an intense ministry that requires, of course, for a Christian, great restraint. And as you said, Jeff, finding that balance between having the boldness and the courage to stand firm and yet not allow yourself to become embittered or discouraged or to lose your composure. It's a place where we need the Holy Spirit of God to shine through us and his grace to minister in and through us to be effective in that ministry, especially if we're going to do it long term.